Ready to make some money from your love of soccer? Here are soccer side hustles that have a proven path on making good extra cash.
We made scorecards for each of them: how lucrative they are, how hard it is to start, how much effort do they require, can they become full-time gig, and the X factor. Any extra benefit you get by doing the side hustle? Honestly, all of them are great options, but it really depends on your skills, interest, time, and moments in life. Let's go!
Soccer referee. We start with this side gig not because it pays a lot, usually between $20 and $50, but because it's just so easy to start.
The soccer organizations around the US are desperate to find referees, and the rule of economics is supply and demand.
Fish where the fish are.
You can start when you are 13 years old, just need to watch an educational video, maybe do an in-person short training and buy referee clothing. You will make the money back on that with 2 or 3 games, then it's pure profit. Why nobody wants to do it? Because the audience, usually soccer dads and soccer moms, can be really abusive. You can be refereeing a soccer game of 8-year-olds in the middle of the winter at freezing temperature, while a parent tries to get some advantage while making hostile remarks throughout the game. However, if you are good in dealing with that kind of behavior, it's a decent way to get some pocket money. It is unlikely that this will become a full-time job, because you cannot delegate and you cannot advance, unless you become a pro referee. Nevertheless, the X factor of this side hustle is that you get to stay fit while getting paid. We also recommend to your young players to be assistant referees, because they get to focus on watching only the defenders or only the attackers, and how they work on the offside line. It's an amazing opportunity to get paid to learn the game without the pressure of performing.
Our favorite side hustle is becoming a soccer coach for a team.
Not a secret, we are soccer coaches too.
The pay can vary between $500 and $2,000 per month for each team you coach.
The clubs are desperate for soccer coaches that they will help you get educated by paying for courses to take and provide mentorship, as long as you do well as a coach. Starting this side hustle is really just finding a club and reaching out to them. Then the work will tell you if you like being a coach, handling kids and their behavior, and working through things like defeats, unreliable players, complaining parents, bad weather, and so on. The real way of measuring your performance is not by the victories. Anybody can put their team in a league where they are the strongest ones. The true indicator is to see how many players and parents want to come back the following year and convince their friends to join the team. After all, you are working for a business, even if it's a non-profit organization, that needs clients, and the players are the clients in this case. This side hustle is extremely scalable. It can become a full-time job if you decided to go through and get your licenses, which is a process we covered in another video about USSF coaching license. However, it can be scalable just by getting several teams at the same time. 3 teams at $2,000 per month can get you over the national average. It will be hard to do this long term, because being out there on the soccer field every day will be exhausting, but it can help you get income for several years in your 20s and 30s.
This side hustle will keep you fit and will make your days fun if you like soccer and working with kids. In theory, it's the same, but one-on-one coaching can be a great side hustle if you are really good at providing soccer knowledge, especially technical skills. We have seen $30 to $100 per hour rates, depending on the area and the reputation of the coach.
And that reputation is how you will get started. As the value you are providing is usually on the technical side, the best way to advertise yourself is to have the technical ability and show them often. If you have some reputation, such as former pro, semi-pro, or even a college soccer player, that can go a long way. Otherwise, ask your neighbors if they are interested in free classes for their kids, and after a few sessions, people will start noticing you. The hardest thing about this side gig is that every session you are evaluated. If you have 2 bad sessions in a row, you will likely lose that client. That can be very tiring if you want to make it a full-time job. Also, it's not very scalable. If you try to sell your name and delegate, clients will still want you and not somebody else. However, unlike a youth soccer team where a lot of time you get not fully committed players, here you will get really motivated players that are ready to pay much more money and therefore are serious about soccer as a craft, not just as a social event.
This one is a fun one. We are really seeing 2 types of people that are working as soccer analysts on the side.
You have your retired soccer coach that might have coached full-time at a high level and have taken the USSF licensing courses to learn the skill, but now cannot commit to coaching a team daily. However, you also have the very young high school or college student that tries to become a coach, but doesn't have the opportunity or the age to coach at the highest level, trying to get their foot in the door. Either way, it's not the highest paying job. It pays around $100 to $500 per game, so it all depends how fast you can produce a quality report. Getting started is all about having connections with professional coaches, but also having a good reputation in the industry. The job itself can be so fun, obviously, if you like watching soccer and like thinking deeply about the game. Furthermore, there are lots of statistics and AI in today's world to help you with it, too. To make it a full-time job, you'll either need to find a professional club in the highest league that can afford to pay for an analyst, or you need to focus on sales a lot. It is unlikely that multiple teams in the same league will pay for the services, because they are competitors of each other. However, you might be able to become more of a scouting center where you keep analysis and videos on both teams and players. Not an easy gig to scale, but the benefit of working remotely and getting paid to watch soccer sounds like a miracle to so many of soccer fans.
If you are not actually interested in the content, you can still make good money just by taking photos and videos of the teams and the games. We have seen some photographers getting paid between $50 and $500 per hour, usually paid by the clubs.
The professionals are really in demand and often sponsored by the parents, who take photos themselves, but are willing to pay good money for a much better quality of them. Also, if you can video the games with a gimbal, the value goes up a lot. The start of it is about sales. You need to either convince the club or the parents to take some photos or record some games, then build a portfolio that way. It will cost you to invest in a good camera for photos, or a good phone and a gimbal for games, but those are good investments because they should be paid back within few weekends worth of work. And you will work through different weather conditions and travel to random places for it, while not all of those will be good opportunities financially. If you want to make it a full-time gig or even grow it in a large business, the chance is there by building a portfolio over time and hiring good people. Honestly, most people are not limiting themselves to soccer or even to sports, and are often seen working with various organizations and events.
You get to learn tech and sales along the way, while doing photography. What's not to love? This is really the Gen Z side hustle, social media expert for clubs and athletes.
Many athletes simply don't have the time to post multiple times a day at various platforms. They hire somebody that can do that for them and make sure that their fan base grows. When the contract negotiation with the club or the endorsement is about to happen, the fans are counted based on social platforms followers. The more followers, the higher the contract. Similarly, clubs have noticed that yard signs don't drive traffic at tryouts, social media does. So,
We have seen social media folks getting paid between $500 and $5,000 per month to lead the social media campaign for clubs and athletes.
to start, make sure you find a club or an athlete that you believe in, and set a payment plan based on performance. You want to deliver value, but also get part of the upside in case the athlete really explodes in popularity. You are paid to be consistent, and that can look exhausting at times. However, if you want to make this a full-time job or a business, find multiple clubs and athletes and work with all of them, then delegate to other folks that can regularly post and interact with the community. Your job will be to manage the consistency of output and quality.
However, the potential of an athlete becoming very famous and successful, while you know you have contributed and also get the benefit of it, is truly amazing. If you don't want to be directly interacting with the soccer games, become an organizer of leagues and tournaments. Just a regular part-time job brings in $2,000 to $4,000 per month.
Ideally, you can find an organization that already does this and either join them or pitch them an idea for another event that you can organize while leveraging the infrastructure that they have. We have seen a club that has fields and teams, but needed an organizer to create a summer tournament for them. They paid them $10,000 for work over several months, mostly part-time in the spring, then overtime during the week of tournament. The club made over $40,000 from the tournament. If you like organizing events, paying attention to details and handling many tasks at the same time, it's a good job. If you want to make it a full-time job, you will need to grow the org to have many events or even start a league outside of it. The secret to success is delegation and hiring good people to do their jobs, many of which are folks on this list, such as referees, photographers, social media campaign managers, and even coaches and teams. You will always need to handle conflicts and issues, But if you start with good people in place, that will be much easier.
There you have it, our choice of side hustles for soccer lovers. What is your pick? Which one has worked well for you and did we miss something? Let us know in the comments.